Hello and welcome back to Katawa Shoujo. I almost wanted to say Dragon Ball Z right there because we were talking about that last time.
Yeah.
This one, this part of the game of the visual novel is called definitions. Um, what do you think that means?
Uh, I'm assuming that this part of the visual novel is. God, I have no idea. I was
Oh,
gonna say. I was gonna say that it was maybe them trying to define their relationship and whether or not they're
yeah,
dating because of Emmy's like seriousness going from like, "Hey, we're dating," although.
right.
And then I was like, "There's no way they can have an entire chapter just on that." So I don't really know.
That was my idea too, but I don't know how long the chapters are. I just
That's true.
I find them when I save it and it says something new. It doesn't like say chapter 10 or anything, you know. It just
Yeah.
goes through it and then I save it and I'm like, oh, that what does that mean, you know?
Right.
Amy looks troubled all of a sudden
I can't say I feel any different.
about dating.
I'm assuming that she means she doesn't feel like you and her aren't quite in a relationship yet, even though it's just the first date.
Well, she didn't say relationship. She said they're
Well,
dating.
yeah, that's dating is being in a relationship, right?
Is it?
I would assume so. I
I thought dating was when you're a couple.
Yeah, being a couple is being in a relationship.
Right.
Right.
But
Yeah.
is dating being in a relationship?
Yeah, I don't know. It's bringing up a lot of questions that I don't have answers to.
Yeah, you'd think I would know more, but I never, like I said, things just came like organically for me, and I never really talked about those kinds of things. It just was what it was. I suppose I should have asked more questions in my life.
I, if
Well,
things work for you, then don't mess with them.
well, we should probably continue.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
What makes this a date? It's just that what we would have done anyways, really. But this should feel different because before, when we had lunch, we were friends, and now we're a level above friends.
Sound like Rin. Laughter escapes and Emmy grins.
Well, she might have put the thought into my head. Oh, God. Ren's interfering.
Yep, she's her best friend.
Mm-hmm. We've talked about that sort of thing before.
Really? About me?
Not really, just stuff, really. Ren thinks that the change of a label from friend to girlfriend seems arbitrary most of the time. Like, there's no difference between the two.
I can think of at least one, you know? You don't tend to kiss your friends quite as much. I was gonna bring that up.
Yeah.
For the second time today, Emmy blushes slightly and giggles.
Suppose you're right.
Exactly, I'm always right about these things. Emmy rolls her eyes and chuckles.
So you're pretty smart, huh?
I nod in agreement. Yep. Even Muta thinks so. He thinks I should go into some scientific study after graduation. Amy raises an eyebrow.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm thinking I actually might do that. Really, the more I consider the idea, the more it appeals to me. I make a mental note to look into it a little more closely. So, what are you thinking of doing after graduation? Still planning on running? Emmy shrugs, seeming almost a bit hesitant.
Hmm. If I'm good enough and I can find a team, I guess?
You mean you aren't sure?
I haven't really thought about it, to be honest.
Really? You probably should, graduations isn't that far off. This is a common thing. I might have said before, but this is a common thing in anime that they're talking about what you what you're gonna do. I guess probably because it's always in high school.
Yeah, I mean, it's a common thing in life, too. I remember talking with my friends growing up, just like, what the hell are we going to do when we get out of high school?
That's interesting because I never once talked to my friends about that.
Really?
No.
It was a common, like, topic because so I had two types of friends in high school. I had the types of friends that knew what they were going to do after high school, and the types of friends that were so stressed out they couldn't sleep at night because they didn't know what they were going to do after high school.
Really?
Yeah.
I always thought my life would end after high school.
Oh, really?
I could not that I would die necessarily, but I couldn't think past that.
Right.
I had no concept of what it would be like to be an adult.
Okay.
It was just like a mental block, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what that means exactly about me.
Uh, hard time imagining something that hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Emmy fidgets a little nervously.
Yeah, well, it's far enough, right? Besides, I've got other things to think about.
There's a mischievous flash behind Emmy's eyes, and I suddenly find myself gloriously pinned against the tree.
Like, making sure this is a real date, right? I mean, if we don't kiss, then it's not a date at all, right? I don't think that's how dates work, personally, but...
I think she's onto something. Personally, I suppose. I don't know. I guess I always assumed if you there was no kiss at the end of the date, then you're like maybe friends.
That is a common conversation among my friends as well. Actually, it's like, what's the point in having a relationship if you can just have a friend? I'm just like, hey, who cares? I don't care anymore. I got other things to focus on.
I suppose. Strawberries and curry, not the best combination, but I don't
Oh,
think I
gross.
mind. Emmy sits back on my legs and grins again.
There, science would approve, right?
My mind just went in a dirty place. I have the oddest mental image of Mutao nodding seriously and making a mark on some checklist. I can't remember where I heard this before, but somebody said, "Can I touch your boob for science?" I can't remember where, but that popped into my head when she said science.
Okay.
I can't help laughing at the idea.
Well, I'll admit, this is the first time I've ever witnessed a kiss being met with a laughter. Should I feel offended?
No. I'm sure science approves. Emmy beamed at me, and I find it increasingly difficult to keep my brain functioning properly.
Oh, good.
It is at this point I noticed that Emmy has stolen the remainder of my curry bread while I was otherwise occupied with images of teachers and wielding clipboards. Hey.
You had ulterior motives.
Yep. Is this still a date?
She just wanted to kiss you for your bread, Gary.
Do you go into a date with some kind of I guess, ulterior motive? Not asking you. I'm just saying.
Okay.
I'm just saying. Is it a date if you have an ulterior motive?
uh, depends on how you personally define a date. I don't really consider my thing for dating, right, is that like I don't consider it an actual date until you've like I guess sort of defined the relationship, and at that point I feel like it's hard to have an ulterior motive with a date if you're, at that point in a full-on relationship.
Yeah, if you're in a relationship.
Yeah.
But if you're,
So no, I guess.
it was just something that popped into my head. Don't have to answer it, really.
Okay.
Emmy tries to look innocent, but considering she's just crammed the last bits of my bread into her mouth, it does not appear to be working.
I'm sorry.
Beef! Shrug from my companion is all I get in response. You use your feminine wiles on me. I wasn't that hungry anyway, but I still feel that the point needs to be made. Emmy seems confused by the phrase feminine wiles, but the understanding dawns on her features after a moment's thought.
Wasn't anything of the sort. So Hisao needs to learn that if you're in a relationship, your food is not your own anymore.
With Emmy, yes.
With yeah, especially with Emmy. You were laughing. Feminine wiles don't involve laughing.
I guess I can't argue with this. That doesn't change your thievery. Emmy laughs at my injured tone and gives me a playful shove.
Fine, you can have the instant noodles that we can't make right now.
Are you kidding? That stuff's terrible. I bet it's better in Japan, though.
I have seen people trying instant noodles from Japan. Actually, you know what? I've had some because there's a Japanese market just down the road from me, and I got some of their from Japan instant noodle. They are significantly better.
Yeah. I might have heard that somewhere before, actually. If anything, you should definitely eat it as punishment. Another laugh from the girl sitting on my legs. She's sitting on my legs. Both of which have fallen asleep by now. Whoa!
Oh, okay.
She died. Or fainted. I twitch one leg to try waking it up, which has the unintended effect of unbalancing Emmy, who falls to the side with a startled eep. Whoops, sorry about that. Legs fell asleep on me. Emmy remains on the ground giggling. I stand up a little shakily, feeling the nerves in my legs return to normal. My eyes wander over the scenery before fixing on a figure of Emmy, who has yet to get up. Her hair is splayed around her head, her arms are spread, and laughter is bubbling up through her mouth. Everything about Emmy seems condensed into this one image. Her energy, her spirit, her childish giggling. The urge to lay down on the grass with her rises swiftly from the back of my mind to the forefront of my thoughts, and I indeed am convinced that I would love nothing more than to just do that. Unfortunately, the sun is set and it's probably time for us to get back to the dormitories. While Emmy may be happy to stay out here all night, I don't think I have that ability. Besides, homework soon beckons. It wouldn't make sense to start thinking about things like university and then slack off, would it? I extend a hand to Emmy to help her up. We should probably get going. Emmy makes a sour face.
You're right.
She grabs my preferred hand and I pull her to her feet into a hug. This time I'm one who kisses her, unable to resist having Emmy against me. Seems ashamed to leave, you know.
Yeah, it does. But if we don't go back to school soon, we'll probably get in trouble.
Emmy pokes me in the ribs playfully.
And you need to do your homework, I'm sure.
Sadly, you're absolutely right. I throw my arm around her shoulders and we could make the trek back to school, accompanied by the occasional bouts of laughter as our conversation jumps from subject to subject. Everything from running to school to the peculiar way that one of the cafeteria workers smell. All too soon we find ourselves outside the girls' dormitory building. Did this painting get any more, like, filled up than it was last time?
I think they added color.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if they're going to add more and more color as we get through the chapters until it's complete.
It would be interesting to see. We'll have to keep an eye on that.
Yeah.
Outside the dormitory, girls' dormitory.
Well, I guess I'll be going then.
I guess so, huh? Emmy grins at me with a mischievous look.
Are you going to be able to survive without me?
I laugh. I'm sure I'll manage.
How terrible. Aren't you supposed to say something like, I'll be counting the seconds you are away?
No, I don't think so. I thought that was probably supposed to be a kiss. Emmy pulls me down into a quick goodbye kiss and steps back looking unexpectedly shy.
Thanks for dinner. I really had fun. Honestly, I did.
So did I. Think we shall have to do it again sometime. Emmy laughs at my deadpan delivery and nods.
See you bright and early tomorrow morning, right?
No.
You've got to run off that bread after all. Oh, that's a singular piece of bread.
Of course, despite the fact that you ate most of it.
Yes, despite that. See you later, Hassan.
Okay. Since she said goodbye, I think I will say goodbye. And Joe will say
Goodbye.
goodbye. Goodbye, everybody.